All right, we're good. So first of all, thank you all for joining me tonight. I know this is the second training this month, and that's a bit much, but I appreciate you all for coming on. Tonight we're going to talk about recruiting, and recruiting is one of my most favorite topics to talk about. I think last week I had 2 pages of notes, and the week before I had 1.5. I got 5 pages here, so I'm going to try not to make it too long, but I do have my top 10 tips, so I'll try to go quickly without, talking too fast. So recruiting. Why do you want to recruit? Well, you want to recruit because recruiting is pretty much the best thing you can do for your business besides having high PRV. You will never make as much money alone as you will with the team. Never. You would have to sell personally, $10,000 a month versus selling 500 and having a team. So why would you put that much effort in if you can just have a team and spend your time working with your team and not trying to sell $10,000 a month? Because when you have a team, you have residual income, and residual income is the best thing you could possibly have. Why would you only worry about money you can make today when you can make money forever? So there is a superstar director. Her name is Jen Audette. She's up in Maine, and she has this whole training about if you sell $2,000 a month and recruit 2 people every single month, you'll have like a doctor or lawyer salary in 2 years. And I'm not saying that like it's easy. I know it's not easy to sell 2,000 a month and recruit 2 people every month, but if you make that a goal, doesn't mean you have to achieve it every month, but set a goal like that, and in no time you will have such a thriving business. One thing you want to do, don't ever close a party without a recruit, or at least to try to get a recruit. You have a discounted host kit on every single party, use it. If you're putting a party in and you're the host, you don't have to give your host credits away. So if you have a party and it's $500, that's under your name, you can cash that out and take your $75 in free product, right? Or you can leave like $1, $2 left in the host credit and offer that $59 host kit to somebody, and you can get a new teammate without sacrificing your rewards. Or you can choose to gift the kit to them and forego your host rewards and get a new team member out of it. Put that note there. So when you look at it, hi, I'm going to mute you because I'm recording. So if you look at it at the end of the day, would you rather have $60 worth of product or a new team member? So flipping your hostesses. When you have a party for someone else, you can offer them to take that host kit, right? Now, if you're going to flip someone, like if you're the consultant and someone's hosting a party for you, you can offer to give them that party. If you give them that party, it's only right to give them that PRV because those are their friends, their family, their customers. So yes, you lose that PRV, but what you gain is far more outweighs what you lose. So yeah, you might lose a $500 party and lose that commission of $100, but if you gain that new team member, they've already got a $500 party, they've hit shooting star, they're halfway to certified, and the people that they can meet and that they know and that they could bring into your team far outweighs that little bit of commission you make that day. So you have to think like big picture and not today. What you want to do if you want to flip your hostesses, you want to offer that host flip at the beginning of your party. You can tell them that you offer host gifting. Call it a gift because it really is a gift. You want them to think that, wow, this is something really great she's offering me. So tell them you do host gifting. Explain that you can gift her party to her. Don't wait until the end of the party to offer this to her. Offer it when you have that first conversation and you're setting her party up. She doesn't have to give you an answer right then and there, but just offer let her know you do a host gifting, and let her just know it's available, so that the whole time she's watching you run her party, she's going to have it in the back of her mind, and it's going to be something she's thinking about. And then at the end of the party, you revisit it, and you could show them what they get if they join. Let's say someone hosts a party for you and it's $500. You show them, you say, hey, if you want me to gift this party to you, you are going to have $500 in sales. You're going to earn your Shooting Star Award. You are going to earn a $100 commission check. And then they would also have the option to take that, use their host credits and get a kit for free, or they can buy the full-size kit, or they can pay for the kit and keep their host credits. There's a bunch of different ways to do that, but that's something else we could talk about at another time, because that's a whole lot to talk about. One of the things you want to do that has been a huge help for me, you want to keep a list of people that are interested, and those are the people you're going to go to when you have a kit. So I have a note in my phone, just on my iPhone in the notes section. It's like my possible team members, and anyone that either I think would be great at it, like customers who spend a lot of money. I actually just did a report of everyone who bought from me in 2020, so I can send packets out to them, and I broke it down. I have people that spent $500 and $600 with me last year. Like, I'm going to offer them, like, hey, look, even if you just bought for your own addiction, you would be making money back on it. So get a list, whether it's pen and paper. I like it in my phone because I can access it anytime, anywhere. And if I'm sitting somewhere and I've got 10 minutes to spare, maybe I want to chat with someone. But then you have this for when you have a kit available. This is your go-to list, and you just keep adding to this list. When someone joins my team, I don't take them off the list. I actually put like a star and then write that they joined, just because then I like seeing like who you know, like how it, my not my progress, like what I've accomplished. You can also reach out to people and say, hey, you know, we have this really great thing where when I close parties, I get a kit available, and it's an exclusive kit. Is this something you've ever thought about? And just kind of gauge them on 1 to 10. And if there's something they're interested in the future, you can put them on that list. If you don't have anyone interested, just start asking your customers. And you can also, there's a superstar director I know who does this, and she preaches this to her team. She will go to someone and ask if they know anyone who's interested. So you would just message them and you would say, hey, so-and-so, would you happen to know anyone who would like to become a Scentsy consultant for only $59? I have a join kit available in a party, and I'm closing it out, and I'd hate to let it go to waste. 9 times out of 10, people are going to be like, oh, well, what's this kit about? And then they might be like, well, I'm interested. So you're asking them without asking them, and it kind of takes all the pressure off of it. Or maybe they do know somebody. You can even offer the kit for free if you want to forego your host rewards. You just can't use the word free. You can tell them you have a kit available that you want to gift to someone. You can say you have a kit available for $0 out-of-pocket cost. And this is a big thing on Facebook. If you are posting on Facebook that you have a kit available and you're like, hey, I've got this, you know, you show a picture of it and say, I've got this great host exclusive kit available. And if you want to give it away for free, or if you want to have someone pay $10 or $15 and you take the rest out of your host credit, you can't say that. You can't say anything less than the $59. So you can just say, well, you can say $0 out-of-pocket cost, but you can't say it's $15, it's $10. So you can either say, I have a kit that's ridiculously low price. I can do this as a one-time thing. Let me know if you're interested. Or you can say, you can even post on Facebook and just put text up and say, if you could join Scentsy for $0 out-of-pocket cost, would you? You never know. Someone might be like, yeah. And then you can get in that conversation with them privately and explain that you can gift these kits out. The words you use are important. I feel like a lot of times you want to stay away from the words join my team. I feel like that just kind of sounds icky. You want to say, have you ever considered making money with Scentsy? If you could start it, you could say if you could join Scentsy for $0 out-of-pocket cost, would you? But I just feel like that join my team, it just sounds so like, oh, I don't want to join your team. It just sounds like icky. So try to stay away from those words. I love to message people and just be like, hey, have you ever considered making some extra money with Scentsy? And I've gotten quite a few recruits this way, especially when it comes down to someone wanting to buy something. Like when the Villains warmer came out, it was $75. And I had people interested in it. And then once they found out the cost, they were like, oh, money's tight right now. I love that warmer, but I really can't justify $75, which is totally understandable, right? So I would respond back to them, well, have you ever considered making extra money with Scentsy? And then they might be like, oh, actually, I have. And that's a really great segue to get into a conversation with people. Just keep it that simple. Ask that question, wait for the reply, and go from there. And you also need to change your mindset, and you need to step out of your comfort zone. You will never grow if you're comfortable. Your business will never grow if you're comfortable. So you have to do the big, scary things. You've got to talk to people. You've got to put yourself out there. Recruiting also needs to be part of your lifestyle. It can't be something that we haven't done a joint special since early 2020 because Scentsy business is up, 500%. So they're not doing any $49 kits, but you always have that $59 or less kit on every single party. So we don't even really need a joint special, but you don't want to just start recruiting when there's a joint special or when you're trying to earn an incentive. Like you can't be like a sometimes recruiter, sometimes not recruiter. It has to be something that's part of your everyday life. It's something that's always on your mind. Recruiting. I have a whiteboard in front of me that I write all different things on. And one of the things I put are my goals for the month, my PRV goal. I put my LY numbers, my best numbers, like my best February, my last year February, and my February goals. And my February goals says recruits 2. And every single month it says recruits 2. Do I recruit 2 people every single month? No. Some months I recruit 0. Some months I recruit 3. But my goal is always 2 recruits, and I always try to get those 2 recruits. And it can't just be August to January when we're trying to earn a trip. Okay, these are my top 10 recruiting tips. Tip number 1, it's not about you. That's the most important thing you need to remember when it comes to recruiting. It's not about you, it's about them. You cannot go into thinking about what that recruit can do for you. You need to focus on what this business can do for them. How can it help them? Not it's going to help me earn an incentive trip. It's going to help me get my next promotion. It's going to help me, whatever. You need to really focus on them and being about helping them. One thing I heard from a superstar director probably 6 or 7 years ago at a convention. She's a huge top recruiter in the company, top leader in the company. And she says one thing she always keeps in the back of her mind when recruiting is the word tiny. Their interests, not yours. You always want to keep it about them. Tip number 2, it is never too soon to start recruiting. Don't think just because you're new that you can't start recruiting yet. The second you hit that join button, you can start building a team. You don't have to know everything. Don't worry that you don't know it all. You're never going to know it all. I'm 9 years in. I don't know everything. And I never will know everything. This business is constantly evolving and changing. You have so many resources available to you. You have your upline. That's your sponsor. That's me, your director. That's Deborah, your star director, and Katie, your superstar director. So you have 4 people in your upline that are your go-to people. And if I'm not your sponsor, like Shannon's on here, and some of you are under Shannon, or like Amanda, you're under Ashley. So Amanda, you can go to Ashley, you can go to Shannon, you can come to me, you can go to Deb. So you just go up whoever your chain of command is. So you have all these people available to help you. We have our team Facebook page, plus Katie's page, Deb's page. There's the training center on Scentsy that on our workstations that have tons of videos and training like pamphlets, I guess, like different things you can print out. There's YouTube. There are tons of leaders on YouTube that do trainings for everyone. There's other Facebook groups where people go live and do different trainings. There are so many resources, so you don't go into it thinking, well, I can't recruit someone because I'm brand new and I don't know these things. you have so many people here to help you. We're all in this together, and we're all here to help you succeed. You'll learn as you go. And if you're just starting out, why not recruit your best friend, recruit your sister, recruit your cousin, recruit the people that are closest to you, do it together and learn together. It will be fun that way. When I first started, she's no longer in Scentsy, but when I first started, I started in February, and August I got my first team member, and it was my best friend. We went to convention every year together. We went to world tour every year together. We did events together locally when you're allowed to gather with people. So it's fun to do it with somebody. Tip number 3, offer the opportunity to everyone. Don't prejudge or think that someone wouldn't be interested or that they don't need extra money. Don't think about the reasons you think they don't need Scentsy. That's not a decision. That's not a decision for you to make. Offer it to everyone. And it's not always about the money either. Some people don't really need the extra money, but would love to earn a vacation, right? Some people don't really need, oh, sorry, I just read that one. Or some people are looking for friendships. Some people are lonely and don't have a lot of friends, and they can join this and have a community of people around them and, meet in person when we have events and become friends with each other. Some people are just a stay-at-home mom and they just need some me time, something for them, something that's theirs. A reason to shut a door and get on Facebook Live once a week and do a home party or do a Facebook party, or when we're allowed to go to someone's house on a Saturday and have a party with adults and get away from the kids, So don't be afraid to recruit your friends, your family, and your best customers either. There's plenty of business to go around. You need to switch your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. If you always think in your mindset is so important. And if you think, well, I can't recruit my best customers, I can't recruit my family, I can't recruit these people because who's going to buy from me? That's going to be true. If you think there are billions of people in this world, I can meet people through Facebook. I can meet people through Facebook groups of interests I have, whether it's dogs or Jeeps or the stock market. You could make new friends, you can meet new people. So you have to always realize that there is an abundance out there, and you can't be afraid to bring your closest people with you. One of the main focuses of your business should be to meet new people every single month. You need to be continually growing your network to be successful. If you are always growing your network, you'll never have to worry about running out of new customers, new hosts, and new team members. Okay, sorry. Tip number 4. We do not just sell warmers and wax. And if you think we do, you're not paying attention. We are in the business of building relationships. You need to show interest in others, and they will show interest in you. I know someone her dad always said, if you want a friend, be a friend. And it's so true. If you want to make new friends, show interest in other people. You need to be a good listener. You need to connect with people. Most people will join because of an emotional connection rather than for the money. Whether it's a connection with you, a scent memory connection, a warmer that evokes a memory, or just some kind of special feeling with one of our products, that's going to bring someone in more than it is money. And don't get me wrong, money is a huge motivator, but it's not always the thing that really brings people in for that connection. When you're on Facebook, get out of the habit of liking posts and start commenting. If you comment on their post, they will likely comment back to you, and now you're having a conversation. Try to comment on 5 posts a day. That is a lot. I try to comment on 5 a day, and I'll tell you most days I don't make it to 5 because I'm scrolling and I can't find something to genuinely comment on. And I'm not just going to say something just to say something. So I try to look for something I can genuinely interact with. So even if maybe 3 days a week you try to find 5, or you find 2 a day, but just when you're scrolling Facebook, try to comment and don't just like. They're going to see that comment and you're going to have a conversation with them. And the more you're interacting with people on Facebook as opposed to just liking it, the more they're going to start seeing your posts as well. With the algorithm, the more you have interaction and connection with those people, the more your posts are going to show up on their page when they're scrolling, and maybe they're going to see a product that they love. If you're in person, when you're having a conversation with someone new, always ask them what they do for a living. If you ask them, they will in turn ask you, and there's your opportunity to talk about Scentsy. Build relationships with people. I put that on there twice. And then really reach out to people. If you take 5 people 3 times a week and send a message, whether it's a Facebook message or a text message, and just ask how they're doing and really listen to what they say. And I'm not saying to then jump in and talk about Scentsy. But if you just start having those relationships with people, it will naturally come up. It may not come up on day one, but maybe if you start talking to some people that you haven't talked to in a while, and you just check in, especially with everything going on, like, hey, how are you holding up? And start talking to people, eventually what you do for a living and Scentsy will come up naturally and it won't be forced. I need to get this dog out of here because he's attacking me. Tip number 5, opportunity is everywhere. You need to have your recruiting eyes and your recruiting ears on all of the time. Always look and listen for opportunity. The single most important thing you can do when it comes to recruiting is to listen. Really listen to the people in your circle. What about that friend you go visit who just had a baby? Is she expressing her desire to never return back to work and put her baby in a daycare? When your hostess says she had so much fun at her party, but she can't afford to buy the kit, or that maybe she had so much fun at the party and her wish list is bigger than her host rewards, but she doesn't have the extra money to get those other things. When a young college student says that they would love to buy more, but they're struggling to pay for school. Every day we encounter people who are telling us how Scentsy could be a blessing to them. Listen to them and share this opportunity with them. Show them the ways that Scentsy can change their life. Remember, recruiting is never about you. It's about blessing someone else. Tip number 6, listen for clues, relate to them, and offer solutions. What it is their needs are. Do they need extra money? Do they need tax breaks? Do they need a vacation? Are they looking for friendships? Do they need me time? Build a relationship with these people and go from there. Someone may be stressed out that their electricity is in danger of being shut off. That person could care less about a free vacation, so you're not going to approach them and be like, oh, we're in this incentive period and you could earn a trip to Fiji. They're going to be like, yeah, my electricity is going to be shut off. I don't care about a trip to Fiji. So you wouldn't talk to them about a trip. However, you could have someone who, you know, lives pretty comfortably. They take vacations once a year. You see them on Facebook. They go somewhere tropical once a year. So maybe like the fact that they love to travel is why you would approach them and tell them how they can earn free trips by doing this, you know, doing something fun like Scentsy. You could also have someone who doesn't need any extra money, goes on vacations, is very well off, but maybe these people are lacking social interaction or lacking friendships, and that's what Scentsy could bring to them. I've also seen people who are very successful business owners, like people who are like own their own law firm, and they don't need the money, they don't need the vacations, they don't need any of that. But these tax breaks for owning a Scentsy business could be huge for them. Anyone who, you know, doctors, lawyers, anything like that. Tip number 7, listen more than you talk. Let the person you're talking to do most of the talking. Let them ask questions that they care about and answer those questions. Answer their questions without going overboard. Sometimes when we get excited, when someone says, hey, I'm interested in Scentsy, we tend to word vomit, and that can overwhelm someone. If someone comes to you and says, hey, I'm thinking about joining Scentsy, you don't want to be like, oh my God, that's so awesome. So if you join, it's this much to start. You can make this much a month. You can earn the shooting star, sensational start. You can get certified. You can get a trip. You can do this. You have to sell this much a month. You might get terminated. If you do, you can come back. Like, people are gonna be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So you don't want to like just start word vomiting. So if you ask them the questions that they want to know and go from there. So Christina actually has someone who may be interested in joining, and I just did the party for Christina. So one of the people messaged me and said, hey, I'm kind of interested in joining Scentsy. I don't know exactly what she said. She was like, I'm thinking about joining or something like that. And so I said, oh, okay, great. What questions do you have? You don't want to start telling them about all these things because maybe she doesn't care about the trip or she doesn't care about this. Don't tell them a whole bunch of stuff they don't care about. Ask them the questions they have and answer their questions. Keep it simple. Don't overwhelm them. Don't give them too much information. The more you say, the less they will hear. So, and they don't have to know every single detail right this second. They need to know the questions that they have, and then you can slowly go over those other things when they get started. So when I have someone join me, I do a Zoom call with them. And the first thing I talk about is shooting star. We got 15 days. Let's get this shooting star. I'm not talking to you about sensational star because that's 70 days away. Let's focus on shooting star. We get those 15 days. Cool. Let's get you certified. And then we move on to shooting star. Like you don't want to tell them how much money they can make as a director when they just got their kit in the mail. So just keep it slow, keep it simple, and just give them the information they need then without overwhelming them with everything. Tip number 8, don't make it such a big deal. Don't put pressure on them. Go into it, especially with the host kits, with a mindset of what do you have to lose? We had a $49 join kit maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I recruited 3 people in one day. They were all people who bought a good amount of Scentsy from me. I think a couple of them, maybe 1 or 2 of them had hosted parties and have been successful with their parties. And I was like, it's $49. Like literally, you've got nothing to lose. With a $49 kit, I think it's like $200 you make that back if you're essential, or $100 you make that back, something like that. But like, it's $49. You got nothing to lose. Your kit, it's worth that. Make it like it's not such a huge deal, because most people, if they're thinking about starting a business, they're probably a little bit scared, right? Like everyone goes into this business a little bit scared because the first thing you're going to think is, what if I fail? What if I fail at this? What if I'm awful at it? So they're always going to have that in the back of their mind. So take the pressure off and just be like, it's $49. What have you got to lose? So if you look at it this way, my average parties are about $400 to $600. So if you break that down, say it's a $500 party is average. If someone signs up and there's a $500 launch party there, they're going to make $100 commission off the bat before promoting the certified. So if they spend $59 on a host kit, they've already made that back and then some. If they spend $99 on the full kit, they've broken even. So just take that pressure off, like just make it very like you've got nothing to lose. We only terminate people now once a year if you don't sell $200 in a whole year. And worst case scenario, you get terminated, nothing happens, you don't pay any fees, there's no termination fees, and 3 months later you can come back for free. So I mean, it's not a big deal. So don't make it a big deal. If you make it less of a big deal, they're going to think it's less of a big deal. Tip number 9, don't be afraid of hearing no. It's part of the job description. You're going to hear no, and you can't take it personally. No doesn't mean no forever. No could mean no for right now. It's not the right time. I've had people tell me no, and then a couple years later they join, or a couple months later they join and they kill it. People's situations change, and maybe it was a no, but it'll be a yes in 6 months. So 2 analogies I really love when I talk about offering the opportunity. The first one, if you're with one of your friends, right, back in the days when we were allowed to see people, and you were out at a restaurant or whatever, and you're done eating, and they say, hey, you want a piece of gum? And you say, no thanks. Do they cry? No. They asked if you want a piece of gum, you said no. Not a big deal, right? You don't take it personal, or they don't take it personally. The same thing if you're at a restaurant and the waitress comes over and says, can I get you dessert tonight? And you say no. Does she take it personally? Does she cry? Does it ruin her whole day because you didn't want dessert? No. So you have to have a mindset of, this is my job. I need to ask people to join, and people are going to say no, but people are going to say yes. So you can't take it personally. You can't get offended. Just think of it like, they said no, that's fine. I'll ask someone else. Someone will join. And the more no's you hear, the more yeses you're going to hear. Statistically, if you were to ask 10 people to join your team, 1 out of every 10 would say yes. So what if in a month you ask 20 people? Statistically, 2 would say yes. I mean, it's not 100% accurate, but statistically, the more people you ask, the more yeses you're going to get. You're going to get a whole lot of no's, but you're going to get those yeses. Just keep asking. Tip number 10 is my last tip. Share experiences, whether it's on social media or talking with people in person. Share what Scentsy allows you to do, the vacations you can take, whether it's because you earned a trip or because your extra income from Scentsy allowed you to take a vacation that you couldn't have taken prior to that. Maybe you get an extra date night every month with your significant other because of Scentsy. Maybe you can treat yourself to a mani and pedi that you couldn't do before. Maybe you can do, a mommy and me date with your daughter that you couldn't do before. Maybe you can now pay for your kids' extracurricular activities that you couldn't do before. Share on social media that you can do these things because of Scentsy. Don't just always post on Scentsy sharing our products. Share like how it affects your life, because that's attraction marketing. That's going to draw people to you more than just showing them the products you have, or the new scent or the new buddy. Like, really share how Scentsy affects your life and tell stories with it. Okay, 2 other things that aren't my tips, but I just wanted to also mention. Possibility packets. They say you should try to get 10 of these out a month. A possibility packet is just basically something you can hand someone or mail someone that has a little bit of information about joining. It could be as simple as a showcase brochure or a product list with a join brochure and a sample. It could be as elaborate as a catalog, a rack card that you got made from Vistaprint explaining your whole story and the top 10 reasons to join Scentsy, and your whole Scentsy story, and a scent circle, and all the things. You can make them as simple or as more elaborate as you want, but basically the idea is just to get 10 of them into people's hands. I've actually seen a director who buys the gold envelopes. Like, I think I've mailed some of you guys gold envelopes. They're just bubble mailers, but I can't reach them. And I got them on Amazon, but they're like a gold glittery look, like a reflective. And she'll post on Facebook. She'll hold up a couple of them and be like, I've got 3 golden ticket envelopes left this month. Who wants one? And she mails them a possibility packet. I mean, you got to think outside of the box sometimes. Another thing you could do with the possibility pack, try to keep them on you. I brought these up last week. These are sold in the Scentsy family store. They are catalog mailers, so they're just a plastic bag that you can put a catalog in and seal it. I'll make possibility packets in this. I'll throw a catalog, a join brochure, the top 10 reasons to join Scentsy, a scent circle, whatever. And I'll keep a couple in my purse or throw them in my car. And then if I go out, I always have them on me. And by keeping them in a bag like this, the catalogs aren't going to get all like bent on the edges and all messed up. So if you go to like a restaurant and you have a really great server, give them a great tip, have one of these on you, thank them, hand it to them and be like, you have a really great personality. I think you'd be great at this, and give it to them, but make sure you give them a really good tip too. Don't give them a crappy tip and ask them to join Scentsy. Some of the other people that do really great at Scentsy are people in retail, because that's what they do. People that work in hospitals, nurses, doctor's office, they tend to have big staffs they work with. Or like, I had girls on my team, she's no longer with us, but she was a nurse and she's still alive. I said she's no longer with us as if like she's just not with Scentsy anymore. But she's a nurse, and she would kill it just by bringing her testers and some catalogs to work and have like $1,000 in orders, because all the nurses would go in the break room and give her orders. Like, nurses do really well. Teachers, when things are normal, teachers do well because they have such a big staff and they could like leave it in the break room. And the last thing I want to say about recruiting, make it a goal. Like my goal is 2 a month, but even just make it a goal to recruit one person a month and train your team to recruit one person a month. If you do this, your team will grow. It will grow fast, it will grow wide, and it will grow deep, and you will make that residual income. I know people who are making ridiculous money with Scentsy. Personally know them, not hearsay. I know someone, I'm on her team page. She's a superstar director, not our superstar director, someone I'm friends with. She's in Canada. She actually posted her highest paycheck ever to try to motivate her team. And she also explained that her first paycheck ever was $56. Her paycheck last October 2020 was a little over $50,000 for the month. If you grow your team and you grow your front line and you teach those frontline to grow their teams deep, you're growing wide because you're getting more frontline people under you. You're teaching those frontline to grow teams, so your team is growing deep. If you grow wide and you grow deep, you can make that kind of money. You can sell $500 a month and make the bulk of your commission check off of that team. So recruiting, it's not easy. It's not impossible. Like, I don't want you guys to get like scared and be like, I'm just saying it's not like it's super easy. For some people, it is really easy to recruit, but it's something that you need to work at and really hone your ability, like hone in your, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like really work on like your technique, I guess, and like really just keep working at it. And the more you make it a part of your life, like consistently on a daily basis, the easier it's going to get. And you're not even going to think twice. Like when people come to me, here's a really good example. There's a girl that's on our team right now. She bought the Villains warmer for me. She never bought Scentsy before. The Villains warmer and wax. That was $95. She got it in the mail. Was like, oh, do you guys have Nightmare Before Christmas? And I was like, yeah. She bought the big Jack warmer, the little Jack warmer, and I think 6 bars of NBC wax. I was like, all right, cool. Then she sent me a message a couple weeks later, and she's like, do you have any discounts for the military? And I was like, unfortunately, Scentsy doesn't, but if you have a larger order, let me know because I can probably work it out and get you some bundle deals. So if you send me what you're thinking about ordering, I'll work it out for you. She sent me an order that was like over $300 and something. So I went back to her and I said, okay. First of all, I bundled it all up, broke it down, put warmers together. And I said, I got 2 options for you. I can get this down to this price. I put it in as a party. I gave her host rewards and like broke it down like, as low as I could get it. I said, I could put this in as a party for you and I can get it down to this price. Or I could put this in as a party for you. You can get a $59 kit and you can make this much commission right now. And I was like, I assume if you're buying this much, it's not all for you because it was Christmas time. And if you're buying these to give as gifts, they're going to need more wax and warmers. She wrote back, she's like, sign me up. So you have to have, you can't get an order. If someone wants to give you a $300 order, yeah, that's great. That's great commission you make this month. But if you sign them up on your team, how much money you're going to make for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years? There's a quote that Orville said, and I actually found it on my phone today when I was looking at my memories on Facebook, and I had posted it, so I saved it. I'm going to post it in the team page. And he says, you are one person away from completely changing your life. And that is so true. You never know if that one person you meet is going to be the person who joins your team and becomes a rock star and takes off. A friend of mine who I met on an incentive trip and who we've traveled to a bunch of places together, she recruited someone, and this girl joined her team and said, I just want the testers at my house because I want to give you orders, but I want to like have the testers so I can smell them. So she's like, well, why don't you just sign up and take the testers and put your own orders in? She's like, that's fine. So she literally joined just so she could have testers at her house so that she could buy her own stuff. In 3 years, she became a superstar director. So now my friend was a director, but she recruited someone who surpassed her, became a superstar director. Once you're in leadership and you're a director, if someone surpasses you, you still get money off their team. This person now has been in 8 years. She has a team of, God, I think she's got about 4,000 or 5,000 people on her team. And my friend makes a percentage of that because she had one person join her team who grew to the very tippity top of the company in 3 years. So you never know when that opportunity is going to arise. So you need to offer this opportunity to every single person. All right, that's all I have. Do you guys have any questions about recruiting?
I do.
Okay.
I got a text message before from Carla. She has a person who may be interested in joining tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
At some point, that will be my 10th person on my team. Do I get to change the name of my team, or will we always be the East Coast Rockers?
Nope, the East Coast Rockstars are my team. So when you become a director, you get to officially pick a team name, and since he recognizes your team, you submit the team name and they approve it or deny it depending on what it is, and make sure nobody else has it. And then
Right.
you officially become your own team and you get a team name and everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, it's something you can pick a name now. It just wouldn't be Sensi official. So like, let's say you picked a name that you love and you want to start calling your team that right now, you absolutely can do that. But
Right.
once you become a director, if somebody has that name, you're not going to be
Right.
able to officially get it, and you'd have to pick something else anyway. But if you look, I don't know exactly where it is, but somewhere in the marketing tab, there is a list of all the director teams and all the team names, and you can go through that list and see what's in there.
Okay.
Because I think when I wanted East Coast Rockstars, someone else, I think they're in Pennsylvania, has East Coast Superstars. So that was taken, but
okay.
I wanted Rockstars instead. So
Right.
And then you can change your name too. Like if I decided someday that I really wanted to change my team name, I could submit it to Sensi and change it.
Right.
So start thinking, because by the end of the year, you'll probably need a team name.
I hope so. Now the girl that Amanda had join underneath her, she hasn't really done anything